So when you're thinking about the word circumference, what that means is it's around a circle. So it's a fancy word for the perimeter of a circle. Circles often get their own names and rules sometimes because they're so different than other shapes with flat sides. So someone figured out a long time ago that circumference is equal to pi, 3.14 and so on, times the diameter cutting across straight through that circle, okay? So circumference equals pi times diameter, no matter how you cut it. For every single circle that ever existed, there's a ratio. It's just a consistent relationship between pi and diameter. So the way we write that formula is circumference equals pi times diameter. You could switch the d and the pi, that's fine, okay? You can actually rearrange it a little bit more than that, okay? So if you start out and you've got circumference equals pi times diameter, maybe you want to solve for pi, right? And you want to say, okay, well, pi is going to equal circumference divided by diameter, okay? Because we just divided away diameter on both sides. It canceled out on the right. Over here, if you want to find your diameter, you're just going to take your circumference and divide by pi. Because if we were to divide by pi on both sides, it would cancel out on the right, and we'd have it on the left. So diameter equals circumference over pi, and you can see that rewritten right there. Okay, so when you're getting problems like this, look for what you know and then solve for what you don't. But be really careful because a lot of these problems involve radius, not just diameter. And radius is always half the diameter. You could think of it as diameter is always twice the radius. Okay, so sometimes you'll have problems where you might know the diameter. If they give you the diameter as 8, okay, you're like, all right, I know this formula, circumference equals pi times diameter, and I'm just going to plug in the thing that I know. I already know pi, 3.14, so 3.14 times 8, or 8 pi, is going to be 25.12, approximately, right? Because pi is an irrational number. It goes on forever and ever without a pattern, but when you multiply it, we have to kind of round it at some point. So a lot of times you'll get asked to round to the nearest tenth or the hundredth. Okay, maybe you don't know the diameter. Maybe on this one it says, all right, well, I'll give you the circumference, okay? And they say, okay, the circumference is 34.54, so you plug in what you know pi, and you don't know diameter, so you need to solve for that. Well, when you solve for that, you can divide by pi on both sides and get 34.54 divided by 3.14 is going to give you a diameter of 11. And then maybe they're not going to give you the circumference or the diameter. Maybe they're going to give you that radius. So they're going to say, okay, I'm only going to give you half of that diameter. Well, you know that 2 of those is going to be the diameter, or the diameter would be 10, right? So I rewrote here 2 times 5 is our diameter. So our diameter is 10. Pi times 10 is 31.4. And that's how you find that.